In the quiet stillness of the night, have you ever wondered why, despite all your efforts, life remains caught in a stalemate? Why the respect of others seems to fade away, while a quiet sense of disappointment festers within you? The bitter truth is this: there are invisible habits gnawing at your strength day by day, rendering you weak even when you believe you are at your most resilient. Centuries ago, Stoic sages like Marcus Aurelius realized that our greatest weakness never lies in external circumstances, but in our own helplessness before our minds. You cannot control the storms of the world, but you hold absolute dominion over how you respond to them. This video does not merely expose the 6 silent habits that strip away your masculine resolve. It provides you with the key to turn the tide. Stop living on autopilot. Stop playing the victim to your own emotions. When you dare to confront these shadows with calm and iron discipline, you will uncover an ultimate strength you have never known before. Are you prepared to cast aside weakness and reclaim your true character? Let us explore it right now. 1. When emotion takes the wheel, the art of creating the pause of a resolute man. Have you ever wondered what truly reduces a man from a position of control to a state of utter helplessness in the face of adversity? It is neither a shortage of resources nor the machinations of petty rivals. The fastest and most silent way a person's strength is stripped away is the exact moment they hand the steering wheel of their life over to raw, unbridled emotion. The trap of automatic reflex. In everyday life, we function much like pre-programmed machines. A harsh criticism is uttered, and anger instantly rushes to our heads. A plan collapses, and fear and despondency immediately seize control. An unexpected pressure descends, and survival instinct whispers for us to turn and flee. That is the familiar behavior of the weak. They react to the external world with the unpolished crudeness of raw instinct. To them, external stimulus and the resulting action are fused together as one, devoid of distance, devoid of deliberation. They mistakenly believe that flying into an immediate rage is a display of authority, or that crumbling under pressure is inevitable. In reality, this is the height of dependence. When you grant external circumstances the power to dictate your mood and behavior, you transform yourself into a puppet on strings, predictable and profoundly vulnerable. Stoic sages of antiquity saw through this trap long ago. Epictetus once taught, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them." The problem has never resided in the circumstances themselves, but in the lens through which we perceive them and the manner in which we face them. The power of the sacred pause. In stark contrast to such instinctive haste, a truly strong man wields an ultimate weapon that the chaotic world outside can never strip away from him: the pause between stimulus and response. When an upheaval occurs, rather than throwing oneself into it like a moth blindly charging into a flame, the resolute man chooses to step back by a single beat. He halts. He observes the anger, fear, or frustration surging within his chest, much like an impartial spectator standing outside the fray. He tells himself, "Emotion is speaking, but I am the one who decides the action." It is within that fragile, yet immensely fortress-like pause that human agency is most fully affirmed. This is neither toxic suppression nor the act of wearing a mask of callous indifference. Rather, it is a profound understanding that feelings are not the issue. Failing to tame them is the catastrophe. By carving out that quiet space, you pull the key from the ignition of automation. You cease to be a slave to circumstance and begin re-establishing order within your soul, reshaping character from within. Every single time you triumph over a sudden impulse, every time you choose calm over a pointless outburst of irritation, you cultivate a new layer of inner strength. Self-mastery does not simply appear, it is forged from tens of thousands of such steadfast pauses. Do not allow external factors to transform you into a chaotic version of yourself. This life is vast and harsh enough to beat down anyone who lives by reflex, yet it swings wide open for those who know how to master their minds. When you take charge of the stillness within, no matter how fierce the external storm may be, it becomes nothing more than fleeting ripples upon the surface of a tranquil lake. 2. The price of sophistry, when excuses become shackles. Have you ever wondered what line demarcates a man who masters his destiny from one who forever struggles within an invisible cage of his own making? It is neither talent nor starting point. The core difference lies in how they confront adversity, fleeing behind excuses or courageously embracing full responsibility. The counterfeit cloak of the victim. Deep within human psychology exists a fragile yet extraordinarily dangerous defense mechanism: sophistry and rationalization. When a project collapses, when a relationship fractures, or when a grand goal shatters, the weak instinct instantly searches for a life jacket named circumstance. We tell ourselves that time was too tight, that opportunity did not smile upon us, that support from others was lacking, or even that our past background was bitter. These reasons sound plausible at first glance, carry strong persuasion, and provide instant comfort. They help us cast aside guilt, rescuing our fragile self-esteem by turning us into a pitiful victim of the world. Yet what is the bitter truth? Every time you point outward to seek a culprit, you unwittingly hand the remote control of your life over to someone else. You surrender your happiness and future to elements beyond your reach: the weather, human fickleness, fortune. Living on excuses resembles drinking a spiritual opium. It numbs the pain temporarily, but gradually strips away your power to act and your autonomy forever. You remain forever a dried leaf, drifting with the current, utterly helpless before violent waves. The supreme power of self-examination. In stark contrast to the darkness of flight, Stoic sages such as Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus discovered a brilliant guiding light named total responsibility. A truly strong man does not busy himself with who is to blame. Even when adversity strikes from an event completely outside his control, what concerns him has never been criticizing external conditions. Instead, he bows his head to look deep within and utters the most powerful question of Stoic philosophy: what is truly within my control right now? That very question constitutes a magnificent turnaround. Responsibility is neither a punishment nor a shackle binding you to guilt. Responsibility is power. The moment you courageously tear off the victim's cloak, accepting to bear your share of the work, even though you caused no fault in it, you officially retake the throne of your mind. You stop wasting energy on lamenting wind and rain, focusing instead on honing your own boat and oars, carving reality with your own hands. Life owes no one a smooth path. There will always be obstacles, injustices, and variables you can never foresee or manipulate. Yet true freedom lies not in how the world treats you, but in your reaction and choice before those things. Lay down your excuses, discard the victim armor, and stop blaming the times. When you cease searching for reasons to evade, you begin finding reasons to act. From a passive individual led around by external circumstances, you transform into the architect, building your own reality with your own hands. Strength has never been a ready-made privilege. It is the fruit of the courage to stand straight and declare, "Everything begins with me, and everything can be changed by me alone." 3. The mask of people-pleasing and the price of losing one's true self. Have you ever startled to realize that most of the exhaustion in life does not stem from heavy labor, but from forcing yourself to fit neatly into the eyes of others? We often grow up with a silent instinct, seeking nods of approval, waiting for praise, and harboring an ultimate terror of rejection. Yet do you know that this seemingly harmless and polite habit is precisely the gentlest vice grip, stripping away a man's true character? Dependence disguised under the guise of humility. Deep within human psychology exists a primordial fear, the fear of being isolated from the pack. To be accepted, we unconsciously contort ourselves. We smile when we are unhappy, nod when our hearts wish to protest, and avoid every debate simply for fear of offending someone. Society calls this tact, urbanity, or humility. Yet under the lens of Stoic philosophy, this is fundamentally a form of voluntary slavery. Every single time you warp your principles to trade for cheap applause, every time you concede just to find yourself integrated, you are selling off a piece of your soul. You hand the power to judge the value of your life over to the masses, people who bear zero responsibility for your happiness or your decline. Living on the approval of others resembles building a castle on sand. A single contrary wind of criticism is all it takes for all your effort and self-confidence to instantly collapse. The power of principles and the inner lighthouse. In stark contrast to the man perpetually agitated by the gaze of the crowd, a truly strong man possesses an entirely different compass, living by principles, not for recognition. Sages like Seneca or Marcus Aurelius never busied themselves with how the world evaluated their philosophy. They understood an immutable truth. True respect has never come from pleasing everyone. In reality, if you attempt to please everyone, it is tantamount to having no convictions whatsoever. When a man has come to understand himself, he knows who he is, where he stands, and what path he is walking. Like a steadfast lighthouse amid the deep ocean, it needs neither to explain nor to ask permission from the violent waves as to why it stands so toweringly there. Its light is truth, is integrity. Even if there are those outside who take offense, criticisms, or cold indifference, the resolute man remains steadfastly moving forward. He would rather endure the temporary solitude of standing on the side of righteousness than trade his inner peace for the counterfeit cheers of the crowd. Returning to master the true self. The time has come for you to pose a question to yourself. How many times have you suppressed your inner voice purely out of fear of what others might think? How many times have you lost yourself within the bustling crowd? Inner strength does not lie in muscles or superficial power, but in the freedom of the mind, the freedom to dare say no to pretense and dare live authentically by your own core values. When you cease seeking external approval, you begin rebuilding your identity from within. You no longer need the mask of people-pleasing, because when you stand firmly upon the foundation of your principles, that very authenticity and steadfastness will naturally command the deepest respect from the world around you. 4. The price of the comfort zone. When comfort strangles character. Have you ever wondered why grand plans remain forever trapped on paper, while your life slips away in a frighteningly monotonous loop? Deep within our subconscious, we often dream of a more exceptional version of ourselves, yet we hesitantly choose to remain inside our familiar shells. We choose the flat, smooth path, dodging every rugged turn, only to inadvertently strangle the hidden strength within us with our own hands. The sweet trap. Named the comfort zone, human survival instinct naturally gravitates towards safety and the avoidance of pain. When faced with a new milestone, a difficult decision, or a major challenge, a sense of fear instantly tolls like a warning bell. Immediately, a voice echoes inside the mind. Do not take risks. Just stay put and play it safe. We make excuses that we are not yet ready, that the timing is not ripe, or simply that we lack some innate talent. We flee difficult conversations, evade heavy tasks, and refuse every opportunity that forces us to change. Such avoidance grants us a counterfeit peace in the short term, a comfortable sensation of not having to struggle and scrape. Yet that is a sweet poison. Every challenge you ignore today silently transforms into a more formidable wall tomorrow. Every fear you bow down to and dodge swells into a vice grip, binding your future. Living timidly within the comfort zone does not spare you from pain. It merely shrinks your life into a diminished, mediocre version filled with belated regrets. The Stoic perspective, discomfort as the guarantee of growth. In stark contrast to such perfectionist and feeble lifestyles, Stoic sages viewed adversity and thorns through an entirely different lens. They did not seek ease, for they understood that everything valuable enough to transform your life is concealed behind the very discomfort you intentionally avoid. When a resolute man steps into the gym, he does not hope for the weights to grow lighter. He hopes his muscles will possess the endurance to bear the heavy load and rise. Similarly, hardships, storms, or life pressures are not alarms signaling you to stop or turn back. They are the signals of the universe, the pulse of evolution. Furthermore, we frequently become trapped in a common illusion, waiting until we possess absolute confidence before daring to act. Yet Stoic philosophy points to the exact opposite supreme law. Confidence never precedes action. It is the fruit forged after action. You only truly feel courageous when you dare to tremble as you step into the fire and survive to tell the tale. Every single time you grit your teeth and conquer a fear, you forge an even sturdier layer of mental armor for yourself. Shattering the invisible cage life does not measure a man's character by the peacefulness of the years he lived, but by how firmly he stood amid storms. The time has come to stop compromising with weakness and locking yourself inside the cage of comfort. Stare directly into the challenges you have been avoiding. Step forward, even while your legs still tremble and your mind still doubts. Strength is not a ready-made privilege reserved for the strong, but the well-earned reward for those who dare to embrace discomfort, turn adversity into a launching pad, and make action the sharpest, most resounding answer to all of life's limitations. 5. The shadow of envy. When tearing others down only exposes inner fear. Have you ever observed someone who is always poised to criticize, scrutinize, and pick apart the flaws of others? Society is usually quick to label them as arrogant, domineering, or envious. Yet if you peel away that thin veneer to look straight into their soul, you will realize a far more naked and heartbreaking truth. It is the silent cry for help of a spirit buckling under deep insecurity. The wooden crutch, named belittlement. Deep within human nature, there always exists an underground war between the desire for self-affirmation and the fear of being eclipsed. When a man feels hollow inside, when his competence falls short of rising through true substance, a distorted defense mechanism awakens. Instead of striving to hone himself to stand taller, he chooses to pull others down so that he might appear larger. It is akin to standing in a dark room and deliberately blowing out the candle of the person beside you, under the illusion that the darkness engulfing them will suddenly make you shine brightly. Derogatory remarks, sneers of disapproval, or the habit of scrutinizing the flaws of others do not shape the value of the other person in the slightest. On the contrary, they serve as a mirror reflecting the complete poverty and weakness within the speaker. Every single time you use words to crush others, you waste precious energy that should have been reserved for your own progress. External aggression masks no inner emptiness. Rather, it exposes an ego as fragile and delicate as a crystal vase caught in a gale. The Stoic lens: truly strong men do not compare. In stark contrast to the person constantly prying into the surroundings, Stoic sages such as Seneca or Marcus Aurelius possessed an entirely different psychological distance. They understood that this world is far too vast, and each person's life far too short to waste on meaningless races against others. A truly strong man never needs to step on another's shoulders to elevate his stature. Why? Because the yardstick of his value lies in the evolution of his own inner self, not in a scorecard of comparing gains and losses with the crowd. When you truly focus on your path to make today better than yesterday, to deepen your wisdom and to solidify your character, you will have neither the spare time nor the mind to pry into the lives of others. Furthermore, a resolute soul knows how to recognize and appreciate the value of those around them. They feel utterly unthreatened by the success of others. On the contrary, they are ready to cheer, support, and uplift, because the excellence of others does not dim their light, but merely proves that this world holds countless ways to rise. The weak compete through envy and tearing down. The strong grow through focus and magnanimity. Transforming the gaze from outward to inward. The time has come to answer a deeply honest question to yourself. How many times have you judged others simply because your heart was jealous of their success? How much energy has been squandered on short-lived comparisons? Inner strength does not stem from standing above anyone, but from standing firmly on your own 2 feet. When you let go of the habit of comparing and disparaging, you release a colossal surge of energy. Stop looking left and right to hunt for the flaws of the world. Turn back inward, water the garden of your mind, and let silent progress serve as the most resounding answer to true masculine character. 6. Slaves of inspiration. When passion fades and discipline takes the throne, have you ever begun a new goal with a blazing fire of enthusiasm, only for that fire to extinguish just days later and yield to heavy procrastination? We frequently wait for endless inspiration, wait for the perfect mood, and wait for a moment when the timing and conditions are ideal to take a step forward. Yet this very fragile dependency is the quiet shackle binding us to a mediocre loop, where promises made to oneself remain forever unfulfilled sketches. The trap of emotion and the loop of collapse. Human nature inherently seeks comfort. When a wave of euphoria surges, we feel capable of moving mountains. We craft grandiose plans and proclaim lofty goals. But emotion is by nature fickle weather, sunny today, stormy tomorrow. When the mood dips, when passion fades and fatigue sets in, the undisciplined man instantly collapses. They begin searching for reasons to stop, making excuses that today lacks the right rhythm, that the body requires rest, or that they will resume once motivation returns. They make countless promises to themselves, only to shatter those very promises with their own hands. And the worst part is not the stagnation of work, but the erosion from within. They lose faith in themselves. Every single time you quit halfway, every time you compromise with laziness, you are silently telling yourself that you are untrustworthy. Your identity becomes warped into that of someone who begins with great fervor but ends in surrender. The Stoic lens, standards and the character of the resolute. In stark contrast to the person drifting upon the waves of emotion, Stoic sages understood that greatness is never born of mere impulse. Marcus Aurelius and Seneca did not wait for tomorrow's weather to be fair or their minds to be serene before acting. They lived by iron standards forged day by day. A truly strong man does not live by motivation. He lives by discipline and a system of standards. Discipline is not about torturing yourself with harsh punishments or straining to shoulder a colossal workload in a single day. Discipline, true to the Stoic spirit, is doing what must be done, even when you have no desire to do it, even when no one is watching, and even when no reward has yet appeared before your eyes. When you transform the smallest actions into an immutable habit, they cease to be a burdensome struggle. They blend into your blood and flesh, becoming a part of your identity. You no longer need to ponder whether you have the inspiration to exercise, read, or work today, because that action has become second nature, much like breathing, much like the beating of your heart. Rebuilding destiny from invisible habits. A man's life is not determined by brilliant moments of high spirits, but shaped by what he does consistently during the most tedious days. When you cease depending on your mood, you officially reclaim control over your destiny. The time has come to abandon the illusion that success must wait until you are ready. Begin with the smallest actions, repeating them each day with cold, unyielding steadfastness. True strength is not a ready-made blessing bestowed by the heavens, but a magnificent sculpture carved with the hammer and axe of discipline. When you master your own habits, you have mastered the entire world. True character, from victim to architect of destiny. The journey of spiritual cultivation, according to Stoic philosophy, culminates in a fateful turning point, stripping off the victim's cloak to ascend the throne of the master. As long as you remain busy blaming external circumstances, you voluntarily surrender control of your life to the storms outside. Recognizing your weaknesses, seeing through the traps of emotion or laziness, is merely the opening shot. True strength has never been a static privilege or a ready-made gift bestowed by heavenly blessings. It is a silent process of sculpting, chipped away day by day through iron discipline, mindfulness, and courage. When you stop waiting for miracles and begin acting with your own hands, you are not merely changing tomorrow, you are entirely resurrecting your true self.